And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to EDK, Everyday Knowledge. We've had a little break over Easter and now we're back to a video every single school day, helping us to remember things worth remembering. Absolutely. What are we doing with knowledge today? Yes, we're retrieving it. What do I need you to be? What do I need the classroom to be? Silent. And what do I need you to be? I need you to be focused. I need you to concentrate and listen. We're going to warm up our brains with some everyday knowledge from the last few weeks. And then I've got some brand new content. I've got something brand new, which I think you're going to find exciting. How many seconds in a minute? 60. How many minutes in an hour? 60. How many hours in a day? 24. How many days in a week? 7. How many days in a month? 30 days has September, April, June and November. All the other months have how many days? 31, apart from February, which has 28 days in a leap year. Yes, 29. How many days in a year? 365. How many months in a year? 12. How many years in a decade? 10. How many years in a century? 100. How many years in a millennium? 1000. In which year was the Great Fire of London? 1666. In which year was the Battle of Hastings? 1066. In which year did the Vikings invade England? 793, the year 793. In which year did the England men win the Football World Cup? 1966. In which year did the first human walk on the moon? 1969. Okay, I promised you some brand new content, and this is going to be geography. So this is going to be around the world and places around the world. Our brand new content is British landmarks. Now, a landmark is a building or a statue or it might be a mountain or something that's man-made, made by humans, or it might be natural. A landmark is something famous, popular, that lots of people have heard of, that's usually quite important. It's got important history or it does an important job. So we are going to talk about different landmarks, famous things that can be spotted around the United Kingdom, around Great Britain. Okay, so really easy one to start. Here's our first one. We've talked about this thanks to Anthony Gormley's sculpting. This is the what? It's the Angel of the North. And although it's a piece of art, it's also a famous landmark, because when people are going up north for the Angel of the North, they recognise this as being in that part of the country. Okay, here's another landmark. Can anybody tell me which famous landmark this is? That's right, it's Buckingham Palace. It's the official residence, the official house in London of our king, used to belong to our queen. It's visited by millions of people every year. That is a famous landmark in London. It's Buckingham Palace. Okay, let's have another landmark. Any ideas which famous natural landmark this is? Any ideas? Okay, those are the White Cliffs of Dover. If you are out on the sea, I'm trying to think which sea that'll be. Maybe something you can talk about in schools. You should, some of you will know. If you're out on the sea, or if you're maybe on the coastline, you can see those beautiful White Cliffs. They're very famous. They're called the White Cliffs of Dover. We're going to have one more famous landmark. I think one person definitely will get this right, one member of staff. I wonder if anyone else will. Okay, this is Conwy Castle. It's in Wales. I think I've said Conwy correctly. It's probably the most famous castle in Wales, but also one of the most famous castles in Europe, because it was built originally to include the whole of Conwy, the whole of the town. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, but that's an incredibly famous landmark in Wales, part of the UK, and it's something which we are going to add to our list of famous landmarks. That's it. Thanks for joining me for EDK. See you tomorrow.
And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for